everyone and welcome to my channel again. We are about to start another weekly journal with me. I am Catalina and I'm the person behind by Katarina Design, and I'm happy to be here every week mostly and share with you what I was working on this week, or what are my other projects. If I have some questions or suggestions, or something that you wanted to discuss about, then I'm trying to do my best and give you the answers that you ask for. And yeah, if you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. Besides this weekly journal where I'm talking about my work, you can also see here in my channel video tutorials, crochet tutorials, mostly of my patterns, which I'm making just to guide you through and use them along with the written pattern, being easier for those of you who are visual makers and need some visual stuff. So if you want to subscribe to my channel and this is something interesting for you, please do it, because it will be really helpful for me to have many people here and many suggestions, many questions, so it will be fun. Okay, so now let's just get started. Okay, so this week was a busy one for me, as I'm trying to finish the Zoya dress pattern. Actually, Monica asked me if I will have a pattern for the desired dress. Yes, I'm working on it. Only that I was hoping that everything will work pretty fast, but because I want to make many charts, crochet charts on each part of the dress, especially with the top part, because then in the legs it's pretty easy to work on it. So because of that, I want to make a chart for each step, and this was taking me quite a while. And also because I was figuring out the motifs pattern for each of the sizes that I want to write the pattern for. It will be in 4 sizes, from size small up to size extra large, and maybe I could went even up with, because it was really keeping the pattern, at least with the 4 sizes that I tried them on. So I was working the motifs for each size. This will be size M, which is pretty similar with size small. This is size L, again pretty similar. I don't know if you can tell the difference now, but believe me, they are bigger. And this is size extra large. So yeah, I wanted to, because from my math it was kind of working, but the idea is that I needed to put them and place them like this, because this is the reference for the bust, and I wanted to make sure, because only measuring one motif, I didn't think that it would be enough. So yeah, I'm almost done with the charts, most of them, with all the, so soon I will start to just put everything in the PDF and have everything done, and after that I will have to edit the video tutorial, because yeah, that one needs to be done as well. So most of the week I was working on this project, and it was a kind of busy week with my life as well, because the first 2 days of the week my husband went away in job trip with the work, so I was alone with my daughter, and somehow it was kind of difficult to find more time for my work, but it was fine. You know that I'm telling you just because just because I can, not because I'm complaining. Okay, now Julia, last week, remember that I said that I missed checking the Google Forms suggestions or questions, and I had one from Julia. I was just putting in the description box below, because this is another thing I'm almost dressed as last week, only that I finished and I added sleeves on this top, and I'm pretty happy with it. Actually, I didn't manage to block it yet because I just wanted to wear it today. And she was asking about the yarn that I was using for this top, and it's Wool Addicts by Long Yarns, and it's called Pride, and it has in composition 40% linen, 32% cotton, and 28% viscose. So yeah, and it comes in 100 grams per ball, and 280 meters. Can you believe it? It's quite a lot. And for this top, I think I used 2 maybe, so 2 or 2 and something. So it was pretty nice because I have so much left over. I think I have 3 more skeins, balls of yarn, and now I wanted to make a matching skirt. I don't know. So many projects that I want to start, and yeah, it's kind of weird. I managed also to work a few more rounds to the, I don't know if you know this pattern of mine, because I don't have here, it's an old one from 2018. I was telling you when I was showing you this yarn from Expression Fiber Arts that they sent me, and they want me to remake one of my old pattern with their yarn, and it's about the Starry Night blouse, and this is how it's looking so far. On the original design, I was working 2 similar because this will have some kind of bat wings shape, but I'm working into this triangle first. And previous design, I was just playing with the rounds of double crochet and mesh stitch rounds, and kind of yeah, I don't know if it was for boring because I was, and also the back it was work only into the mesh stitch. So for this one I want to keep it into the same stitch pattern, so I'm alternating mesh stitch round with the double crochet with a solid round. And because it was tend to get too much length, I think my previous top was pretty long, so I decided to make the middle increases not with 2 stitches, chain 2 stitches, but with only 1. So in this way to add less stitches into this corner, and I hope that in this way I will keep the length a bit shorter. And also this will be the back panel, and for the front panel I want to go with a V-neck, because I think it will be really easy to adjust, and beside this boat neckline is kind of weird to wear for most of the people because it's getting too high with the neck. So I think that if I'm going with a V-neck for the front panel, it will be nicer. So yeah, I just have a few more rows to work to get to the length, and then I will start to decrease on the size for making the armholes. So yeah, these were the only 3 projects that I was working on. So one is the pattern for the dress, second is finishing this top, which by the way I will have a pattern and video tutorial for it, but as soon as I'm done with the desired dress I will start working on this one. And yeah, so this was my projects for today. I have to tell you that I have some more projects. I think I have the ripple skirt that I will finish maybe next month as a pattern, and I think I showed you here the pants and some other projects, but I think I will let them for some other time because I don't think I will have enough time to work on them and finish them, but with writing the patterns and everything I think it will be too late in the summer. August is kind of we're leaving for vacation, so it will be kind of less time to work on my projects, plus starting the summer vacation, so school break, so it will be kind of difficult to find the time for everything. But yeah, I hope that it will be in the end something nice that I will still be able to release. Okay, now I had 3 questions. One was from Julia from the last week about the yarn that I was using for the top. Then it was Monica who was asking if I will have pattern for the desired dress, and I told you that yes, and I'm working on it. And I have one more question for Maureen, so now let's get and see what Maureen, because it's a really interesting question, and I'm so sorry that I didn't have too much time to show you a few things, but next week I promise that I will show you something, but I will talk about this. So let's just answer Maureen's question. Okay, so Marina was asking about the small parts, how she's calling them, of the project is weaving in the ends, how to attach one yarn to another when you finish a skein where you want to change the color in the middle of a project, how you fasten off, and yeah, she says that okay, everyone is doing that, but she wants to see from my side how I'm doing it, and make it look so professional. I don't know if my methods are the best ones, but I will show you weaving in the ends and fasten off and everything next week, like exactly on how I'm doing it. But because it somehow matches one of my reels shorts that I did I think last week about using the textile glue with weaving in the ends, and I post this reel because it was something that I was sorry, it looks like it's a bit too dark from my side. Okay, so I was using this for the first time on the swatch, and after posting I had many questions about how it's holding, how it's doing, if it's not stiff or hard or something like that. And I used it for weaving in this ends over here. Here I kind of put a lot of it, and I had a question, a suggestion from one of my followers who said that she's putting it on paper, the glue, and then using a toothpick to just put on those spots where she wants to use the glue for the ends. And What I don't like with this one is that has a white color, the glue itself, and kind of getting yellowish after drying. So because of that is kind of annoying, like here, because I have a white yarn, but this is visible only on the wrong side where I placed the glue. On the right side is not yellow, which is a good thing. And with the swatch, I put it in the washing machine, putting in the dryer, of course on the delicate program, because this is what I'm using when washing my crochet or knitting stuff. And it is holding. I mean, here I let this end a bit longer and just put a bit of the glue here, and if I'm pulling this yarn really hard, it's just staying in place. So it's a really great idea for waving in the ends, and especially what Maureen said, that she was making a colorful top. She changed the color a few times during the work, and the knots that she did or something, and untied, and this ruined the whole project. So I think, I'm not saying that you can skip the weaving in the ends, but you can use the fabric glue or textile glue adhesive to just secure those ends and make sure that your project won't be ruined. I don't know how many times this glue will hold after washing. I just washed this once, but yeah, they said I have two types of glue here, but I searched on the internet, on Amazon for example, and there are plenty of them. You can either find an transparent one, which I think it will solve the issue with getting yellow, and I use on the swatch this one. Is from Hema, which is a local shop here in Netherlands, and they have many of this kind of stuff with yarn and everything for sewing. And this the other one, I think my daughter bought it by mistake, because it's looking the same, almost the same as the creative glue that she's using for her craft projects. And I noticed that it's also a textile glue, and it says that you can use to glue two pieces of fabric, and that is working for many types of fabrics. And this one is also washable up to 40 degrees. On this another one, it says that is washable up to 60 degrees, which both of them are okay, because I never wash my crochet or knitting projects at a temperature bigger than 40 degrees. I'm mostly using 20 degrees with all my, or maximum 30. So it is perfect. So I think, and about the stiffness and getting hard, this one, maybe it depends on the glue, but this one that I use is not, it's not stiff, it's not hard. You can feel that the texture is different here comparing with the other, but it mostly feels like, I don't know, a bit of bubble gum. So it's more like a rubber texture than that hard plastic. So I don't mind, it doesn't feel harsh on my skin, because this was another issue. If I'm rubbing like this sample, I cannot tell the difference of where is only yarn and where is glue. So maybe it depends about the glue. And yeah, you can use it this only a bit on your waving in your ends, and also using a bit when changing the colors, making the knots into middle of the work, and put a bit of there on the knot to make sure that those yarn won't untie. Anyways, Maureen, sorry that I didn't have time to film the process itself, or with weaving in the end, with fasten off, and how I how I tie the changing the yarn, the balls of yarn when I finish one, or if I want to change the colors. So I will do that in my next video, weekly journal for sure. So thank you so much for your question. It's a great one, and I hope that the tip with the textile glue will help. And yeah, I promise you that next week I will film all the steps for this small part of a project, because I really think that it's important, because otherwise you cannot and sometimes I spend so much time on the finishing, and sometimes it's taking me even more than the entire project, because I think this is really important. This is what gives to the crochet project or the knitting project that polished look. And even if it's taking time and sometimes it's boring, or right after thinking that okay, I finished this project, and you're not, and you kind of don't have the patience for doing these things, I prefer to put it aside if I see that I don't have enough patience, and grab it some other time when I'm more zen, because it's really important. This makes your clothes, especially if you're working garments, more durable, and it will make you proud of them. So I'm all for it. So yeah, I will give this video tutorial, small video tutorials for the small things of a crochet project for the next week. And now next I want to share a story with you, because and something that it was hunting me for about 2 years. So I want to share this with you. So if you stayed until now and you want to find out what is my story and what I want to share with you, just stay here and keep an eye on my on here, because in 2 seconds we will start. Okay, so now it's story time, and I have here a box which was sent to me, and I'm not gonna lie, the date on the box is 10 August 2021. I know that it's kind of because I'm filming with the front camera and of my phone and is you will see it in the mirror, but I promise you that here somewhere I will put a photo with the label. So it's from 2 years ago, and as you can see, I didn't open it so far, but I want to open it with you and tell you the story behind this box that was staying into my studio for 2 years without opening it and what it's all about. So 2 years ago, one of the yarn brands, which I never worked with, but I meet one of their I don't know, representant, I don't know how to say it, in one fair here in Netherlands, and it was such a nice lady, and it was nice to talk with her, and her words were so encouraging about, because I was a small not that now I'm big, but yeah, I didn't have too many followers. I didn't know too better what I am doing or what I want to do, so it was funny. After a few months, after talking with and meeting at that fair, she was asking me for a commission for the yarn brand that she was working with. So she sent me a photo and told me that she wants me to design something similar with that photo, which it was something like a top, and it was pretty similar, work in V, kind of like this. Anyways, and told me like in V shape or V rose, like my sea breeze cover up, or like my Romy summer dress. And she told me that she wants me to design something similar, but something like a mother and daughter set. So I hope they're both here. Yes. Oh my god, I'm so nervous about it. So I designed here this little dress for my daughter, and this dress for myself. So it's looking pretty similar with a sea breeze cover up, also worked with the cake, but with a different stitch pattern. And this was my mistake with the stitch pattern that I use, and the fact that I wanted to change the stitch pattern at every 3 rows, and this kind of mess up my my stitch count. So after sending everything to them, the samples and the pattern, I got in contact with the proof editor of their of this yarn brand, and she was asking a few questions, of course, which is normal, about the pattern, how to write the abbreviations or something like that. And after starting to check the other sizes, because I needed to change everything, the decreases, everything, it wasn't working the same for all the sizes. So I got that for the kid size and for the adult size as well. And at some point the proof editor told me something is wrong, and she sent me back the samples, if I remember correctly, and or it was about only the pattern, I don't remember. The idea is that I got in possession of these 2 samples, and to figure out what I was doing wrong in the pattern, I was ripped off everything and started all over. So I did them the second time. In my head it was perfectly correct, and I was changing the pattern, whatever I felt that it was wrong, or I was finding that it was wrong after making them the second time, and then send them back to them, and with all the things in the patterns and so on. And after a while, the woman with who I was talking with in the beginning was telling me that, okay, we won't do that because editing the pattern, it will take us too long. Paying the proof editors, it won't be worth it for these 2 designs. So because they will spend too much time to figure out what is with these patterns, and they sent it back to me, and it wasn't published anywhere and so on. And she was really nice. She said, okay, it's fine, these things can happen, it's nothing wrong with the design or something like that. Maybe it is working, it's only that it's not worth it for us, because we want to publish it as a free pattern, so it's not worth it in the end. So I was it was my first reject ever. Well, I'm not counting the first one in my first year, when I sent 3 projects or ideas to one of the yarn brands asking for them, and I never had follow-up from them or an answer if they liked them or not, or what was wrong with them. So this was like my first actual reject from a commission, and yeah, I felt so bad about it, not because that I was rejected, just because my work, just because it didn't work or something. It wasn't something easy to do or to something. So this was my lesson learned, that and this was happening with the magazine, with other yarn brands, that I was working on, because at the beginning I wanted to, every time I got the okay, your project is or like a call that they need some designers or some projects for their magazine or something, I was looking for something outstanding, you know, to make sure that I will get accepted for that commission. And most of the time it was something really difficult, not in the terms of making the project, but in the terms of writing the pattern. And since then I decided that I will never take a commission or submit a commission with something difficult to write a pattern for, because I don't think they are looking for intricate patterns or something like that. They want people to be able to make those stuff, because they want to people to be interested in buying their yarn or buying their magazine. So not always needs to be difficult project. You can make something looking outstanding but not being that difficult to make or to write or to create or so on. So if some of you is over here and watching this weekly journal, and you are a designer and wish to have this kind of commissions to yarn brands or magazine, this is my tip for you. Don't look for outstanding projects that are difficult to write a pattern for, because this will give you headaches, and it will be so stressful, and I think it's not worth it, you know, to get that stressed about a project, and after publishing it's like this, you know, it just flew out, and it remains the proudness that okay, your design was in a magazine and so on. But if I'm putting into balance my mental health and everything with what I was compensated for or something, is not worth it. So this is my personal opinion. I'm not saying that it's like something that it should be done like that, but yeah, try to submit with simple projects for you that are looking intricate and outstanding, but not necessarily that they are pretty difficult to write the pattern for or to make, because this is not the idea. And I understood it like quite late. So yeah, I'm happy that I've opened this with you right now, because it took me 2 years to open and look at these dresses, because it was so much stress into them, knowing that I need to rip them off, knowing that I need to remake them, trying to figure out what it was wrong, because at first it wasn't something wrong with them and everything in my head was working. So why is not working right now, and what is wrong? And I have to tell, it wasn't the case of this proof editor, but I have to tell you that so she was right, and she was right because of the increases, because I was changing at every 3 rounds, and this will add a few stitches, but not enough to complete a motif like this, like the V stitches. You know, if I will increase like into the solid row to have 1 more V stitch, it will be okay, but then I had it to change and blah blah. I don't want to remember. Okay, so this was my story time, and yeah, I'm curious what my daughter will say when she will see this dress, because she was so small. Maybe I will put here some photos with both of us, because I did have some photos with me and my daughter wearing them. She was so cute. Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much for listening to that, and I don't know if you have any questions about or thinking about to apply to have these commissions with magazines or with yarn brands. I don't know if I have the best suggestions for you, or if I'm the best example on how I did that, but yeah, maybe my experience will help you out. So use the link, ask me something about this topic if you're interested, and we will talk about in our future videos. So yeah, thank you so much for your time and for being here with me for another weekly journal. It was really emotional for me, especially the last part, because but I feel good that I let it go, and I know that this experience doesn't make me a bad designer or that I don't know what I'm doing. It's just the fact that I wanted to show back then that I can do multiple things, and maybe at that time I wasn't experienced enough and I didn't know how to make this to be easier for me. Because if you ask me now and I will have to repeat the pattern, I think I will calculate the stitches differently, so it will work for bigger sizes as well, and I will have an idea on how to fix that, but unfortunately I don't want to. Because yeah, this was it, is somewhere back, and I'm letting it like this. So, but I won't mind wearing this dress during the summer, and because it's a nice one, and yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for being here one more time, and I wish you to have a great weekend, and see you next week. Bye.